Good morning and good afternoon, and a warm welcome to all of the people who have joined the webinar already. And I can see more people joining in as we said I talk. Welcome to this webinar by Digité, Achieving Agile Development at Scale. Let me go through a quick set of housekeeping and introductions, and in the meantime, hopefully the rest of the people will also be joining in. So just so you know, first of all, if you have any questions on what you're seeing, please use the Q&A box, which should be on the bottom right of your screen anytime during the webinar, and we will take up those questions at the end. Just for your information, the webinar will be recorded, and a link to the recording will be shared with you, as well as a copy of the webinar slides will be provided. So the agenda for today's webinar is that we'll take a quick look at what is Agile really all about, and then look at what are the challenges of Agile in the enterprise, and take a look at how Agile has been successful in certain scenarios, and where it has challenges when looking at scaling Agile at the enterprise level. And then we'll show you a quick video presentation of Swift Swing from Digité, which helps in scaling Agile in the enterprise. And finally, we'll leave it open for Q&A, and hopefully have a few good questions that will hopefully inform you about how you can scale Agile within the enterprise, within your own organizations. So with that, a quick introduction. My name is Mahesh Singh. I'm Senior Vice President of Product at Digité. Digité has been a pioneer in Agile, ALM, and Lean Kanban-based project management, software lifecycle management, and process governance. And I have over 25 years of experience in the software industry, and have helped numerous organizations with distributed teams manage software projects successfully, deliver products successfully, and use a variety of methods, agile, hybrid agile, or traditional, in order to ensure that software teams were successfully able to deliver on the work that they were doing for their customers, whether they are internal customers or external. I also handle consulting and professional services for Digité, and therefore have a lot of experience with working with just a variety of customers globally in handling internal as well as external software deliverables required for the success of their business organizations or their external customers. So hopefully I can share some of that experience with you during this presentation, and provide value to you during this webinar. So thank you once again for joining in, and let us start by looking at what achieving Agile development at scale really is all about. So before we go there, let's talk a little bit about the agility itself, or defining what Agile itself really means. So if we look at that, it basically talks about, if you look at what Agile Manifesto talks about, it is really focus on the individuals, focus on developing working software, focus on collaboration, and focus on responding to change that naturally occur during the development of any software. And if you look at that in a little more detail, and I've highlighted here the key thing that we need to focus on. The Agile is really all about, if you look at the 12 core principles that support the Agile Manifesto, and we look at a few key things, there is focus on continuous delivery, and making handling of change as a part of the core strength of delivering software often. Agile talks about business people and developers having to work closely together, and they need information so that they can make informed decisions. And they want to make sure that there is a sustained process to continuously deliver that software. So if you look at these 12 principles, they really focus on the delivery of working software on the individual, and the sharing of information in a very collaborative fashion. And there is a benefit of doing that. Obviously, there are benefits to this approach. First of all, if you're producing high quality products that are delivered faster and that satisfy more customer requirements, naturally there is greater revenue that should follow. Secondly, the ability to deliver software off faster means that it is a faster time to market for the organization, which is clearly a critical business benefit that most organizations seek to achieve. And the third benefit is to create that culture of transparency and visibility so that every member of the delivery team has the information they need to be empowered to make the right decisions. So clearly, the benefits of Agile have been understood well, and the need to get these benefits at the organization level, at the enterprise level, are critical, and that is what organizations are trying to do. But in practice, if you look at the typical Agile team situation, in practice, the Agile development has really been effective at small team sizes, typically between 5 to 9 team members. Obviously, there are exceptions to this, but there has been a lot of study around this that says that teams of between 5 and 9 people are great at Agile development. They focus a great deal on the daily stand-up meeting, and they really focus on the face-to-face interaction. So for small teams, it really makes a lot of sense. Yet for developing at scale, as compared to the small team, if you consider a team of, let's say, 100 or 1,000 or even 2,000 developers, that face-to-face exchange of information is simply not practical. There will be a lot of communication friction, and as a consequence of that friction, information will be kept in silos, and that's very typical, across different business functions, whether you're business analysts or developers or testers or the business customer. There are silos of information very, very common, and consequently, individual users will not have the information they need in order to be able to make decisions that are informed. And the result is there is a complexity of communication and lack of visibility. Because people don't have the right information, that itself will manifest in it, and it could result in process failure, which of course would be, could be catastrophic for the organization depending on the context of the work that they're doing. So if you look at this slide here, building up the transition. If you look at the left side of the spectrum, for smaller teams, the number of interfaces or the number of communication paths are quite manageable. So, for example, team size of 3, there are 3 interfaces. For a team size of 4, there are 6 interfaces. For team size of 5, there are 10 interfaces. But as you can see, it starts to grow quite rapidly, and in fact, it's an exponential growth curve. And if you look at the next slide, it kind of explains that quite succinctly. And as you can see, as the team size grows, the number of touch points and the number of communication points grows exponentially. And if I let this build out fully, so at a team size of about 100 people, which is not really a small, which is not really a really large team, large enterprises can have easily many more developers. They can be almost 5,000 interfaces, and clearly those are too large to be handled in a manual fashion. So how do you deal with that? And again, I'm going to let this slide build out a bit. So in addition to the complexity of the communication challenges, there is also the loss of information. So the so-called oral tradition, the tradition of handling communication face to face, person to person, is that if you have to communicate a requirement or a change or a need, the more people you have to communicate it to, the more likely that the message will be lost, and the fidelity of the communication decreases with each communication interface. So the typical tradition, as kids, you all learned the game of Chinese whispers, that as you talk from one person to the next, there is a loss of information that we've all seen, very typical in software projects. But not only does the quality of information get impacted, it is also unlikely that the information that is being captured in a systematic fashion, which is very important for companies that are highly regulated and that need to manage and monitor and record every change, every defect, every code fix that is done, and make sure that it is completely traceable back through the development process, back to the original requirement. In an organization which has got a custom of sort of oral tradition, oral communication, that can become very difficult. And so it is important, therefore, to look at how do you manage the challenge of loss of information, loss of fidelity in a large organization. In addition to that, in terms of the loss of information, and also that in addition to that, there is also visibility challenges. As your development team grows, you likely begin to acquire different systems, different applications to help you manage individual functions. So you might have a defect tracking solution for QA. You might have a task management system for the development, a requirements management tool for business analysts, a help desk tool for the support team, and so forth. And each of these systems will handle the individual functions very well, but they're not integrated to enable each function to automatically communicate to the other functions. Therefore, they again force manual methods of communication between these functions, even though they are fully automated within their own silos. So not only are the individual users in each of these functions, not only are they not able to stay informed of what their peers are doing in the other functions, but it also becomes difficult to roll up information to management level, so that as a manager or as an executive, I'm able to manage my overall development across all the functions, and can make decisions which are based off of complete visibility across all the functions that I have or that I'm managing. So again, the moment you have large systems, large organizations handling multiple software solutions, you run into the challenges of visibility that need to be managed. So the question, of course, then is how do we scale? How do we go from that team size of 5 to 9 developers that are which are able to work very well with the agile method, when we go to hundreds and thousands of developers in an organization that might be working on large scale projects? So obviously the answer is that you have to take an approach and go through a sort of maturity curve, which Scott Ambler and Mark Lyons, who are formerly at IBM, put together in what they call the agile scaling model to get towards agility at scale. And these organizations, they talk of organizations where there are large teams that are geographically distributed, that are subject to regulatory compliance, and that have organizational complexity, and then need to still manage agile, at an overall organization level. So if you look at the characteristics of successful organizations, they are the ones that are systematic. They have business processes that are designed to inform individual users and empower them to make decisions. So what they really need to do is that as an organization, we need to transition from that oral tradition of which is core to agile development to a method of integrated communication for agile at scale. Okay, so let's look at what that really means. So we need to connect each of these ALM systems, whether it's defect management and requirements management or test management, etc. We need to connect the various systems in a way that there is a complete synchronization of information across these systems automatically. This will result in each of the team members being able to use their own system to communicate with their team members. So for example, if management has invested in defect management for QA and the QA team is managing their defects using that system, but they still may have to go to a secondary system which is being used by the development engineers to recreate those defects for the engineers. And that's a manual method of synchronization, which is error prone and very costly to the company. So by being able to work on their own native systems, developers are able to work in the national environment, seamlessly communicating with their peers, and which will result in their natural ability to scale, because you're no longer having to recreate data across different systems. So single integrated system allows for people to work in their own systems and their own application that they're comfortable with, but at the same time ensuring that their peers and other functions are equally informed. The second important thing is that the workflows and business rules need to be implemented in a way that it supports the process and the governance in a very transparent manner. This is again very common based on the kind of methods and kind of methodology that an organization might use, that they want to be able to track changes in different systems and have sort of related transactions happen in other systems in order for business rules to be properly followed. And proper integration helps users focus on the job and not on the manner of the integration. So, and in addition to that, it guarantees. The integration also provides guaranteed traceability that supports compliant and overall limits organizations to their exposure to penalties and costly fees that might result because of some compromise that happens as a result of something not getting updated. And finally, it provides enterprises the visibility so that individual users and management have the ability to make informed decisions, which is key to any organization. All right. So some of the goals for achieving agile at scale is really to first of all to remove communication friction, and secondly to provide the overall context through greater visibility to make better decisions. And ALM systems integration can solve these challenges by addressing the communication, visibility, and compliance requirements. So if we look at this model back again, without the system connectivity, there is a complexity of communication, and the equation that we saw earlier, the n squared minus n over 2, is the number of communication paths or interfaces which are typically common in manual or oral tradition with no systematic connectivity. But with systematic connectivity, the number of communication paths or the number of interfaces will just be n, the same as the number of users, and all the users will have the same method of communication through the common integrated system that they have, and that dramatically reduces the communication complexity. So here, for example, we have a system where there is Digité that is connected to HP ALM for let's say testing and defect management, Redmine, which might be a work management system for the development team, and Subversion that might be a code management system that you might use. Each user in this system is able to use their preferred system, but because of the integration in the middle, they immediately have all the information that they need and the context of that information in order to make proper decisions, without having to depend on manual methods of communication like emails and text messages, manual synchronization of text files, CSV files, and spreadsheets, or even the daily standard meeting, which might be pretty much impossible when you have hundreds or thousands of developers. And so this becomes very efficient, immediate, and a transparent method of communication. And with respect to compliance, because the overall set of applications are systematically integrated, every communication that occurs, every interchange that occurs, regardless of what system it occurs in, is automatically captured. And so therefore there is a complete traceability and a complete record of a complete audit record is captured, and the company therefore is always ready for an audit that is accurate and timely. And with respect to okay, the slide is still building out. My apologies for that. So with respect to the visibility, each user works within the preferred system, as we just said. But because these systems are integrated, with a system such as SwiftSync from Digité, those barriers are removed, and you sort of get rid of the individual silos that are there. Individuals are kind of interconnected with using their native business systems, and at the same time, management has all of the information that they need in order to be able to make informed decisions. So let's look at let's revisit some of the tenets of the Agile Manifesto, which is now applicable at scale. So first of all, there is a focus on individuals and interactions, and that allows for individuals to make informed decisions and act through their preferred tools. The key thing is that whether you are a developer or a tester or a business analyst, you're able to work through your own preferred tools and still have easy and streamlined communication. The second is focus on working software over comprehensive documentation. So all members are aligned with a common visibility and understand the priority of what is the work that needs to get done, and the integration of systems reduces the need for formal documentation. So now that you have, that you have all of the system integrated and you have the traceability from one system to the other, you don't have to go through extensive external documentation in order to manage that traceability and in order to manage the ability to track back to a requirement that might have been there, which caused a specific defect to be fixed and code to be changed. The third thing is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So I mean, there is good team communication because of this, and then there is better communication along with as well with the customer, and because of that, frequent software delivery gets even better than before, and there is scope for faster customer feedback that allows for early changes, early management of changes, and early fixing of issues that might be there. And finally, of course, as a result of all these three capabilities, there is a better ability of the system and the team overall to respond to change. Because first of all, changes get reliably communicated across different systems, and all team members therefore have a single source of truth, which becomes very, very critical in large organizations. So with that, let's take a look at what SwiftSync from Digité can provide. And so for that, let's do a quick introduction to what Digité itself is all about. Digité has traditionally been a full-fledged ALM system which combines three main capabilities: process governance, project portfolio management, and integrated application development and maintenance. It is a full suite of capability that provides full coverage to enterprises managing all aspects of the application lifecycle management. Just a quick deep dive into the capabilities in each of those blocks of capabilities. So first of all, under the process governance, there is the full ability to define processes, to deploy them, and then monitor their performance, and come back for process improvement in a continuous basis. And it's an open process governance capability which allows for defining of all kinds of processes, hybrid, agile, traditional methods, and pretty much any kind of development or implementation or other business process that you might have in support of IT and software development. Out of the box, it comes with some support for frameworks such as CMMI and Six Sigma because of the kind of metrics and base process template that it provides out of the box. The middle silo is all that you'd expect to see in a typical portfolio program management type of software, with sort of full range of capability around program and project management, resource management, scheduling, and so on and so forth, including things like document management and issues and risk management, etc. And finally, on the right hand side, you see the integrated SDLC apps that are provided out of the box here, which if you do not have tools of your own in each of these areas, then you can use what Digité provides. In addition, we provide over the last 2 years we have launched Swift Kanban, which is a visual and lean project management tool, and as you can see here from the screenshot, provides for a very visual, card wall based project management method. And if you're already working with Agile, or if you have explored Kanban, then this is something that you should certainly take a look at in order to manage the projects in a very visible and visual and collaborative manner. And if you look at the overall sort of solution architecture that we provide a fairly extensive coverage to the overall needs of a software organization or an IT enterprise in terms of the full lifecycle management of applications development, maintenance, or implementation, where you might have need for project management, for software development, for ongoing support of applications and so forth. Supported on the top with visual layers, which could be either a Kanban board or a dashboard, and of course collaborative business and workflow and business rules. And at the bottom you can see the support for process, and at the last you have the SwiftSync integration bus, which enables you to set up an ecosystem that will encompass all of the existing tools that you might have in support of your overall enterprise. So in sort of summary, Digité is really a fully integrated global software and project delivery capability with a lot of things going for it that has allowed our customers to benefit from better and faster delivery to their customers. So let's now focus on SwiftSync, which is the focus of this particular webinar. So what does SwiftSync allow you to do? Firstly, it provides for ALM work item synchronization, which means that irrespective of what kind of ALM tools you might have, HP ALM, Quality Center, Microsoft TFS, IBM Rational, Serena, and a variety of other tools. It'll allow for work item synchronization across these tools. Secondly, it provides you the ability to define rules and enforce them, which you can run through your system across the different tools that you may have, including changes committed in your code management tool. Thirdly, it provides for conflict management, so it automatically detects and resolves any conflict between different ALM systems, and we should see a little bit of that in the video today. And finally, it provides for cross-system traceability, so from code to requirements, from test to requirements and defects, cross-system traceability across all connected systems, which is key to really being able to do delivery of quality products, as well as, of course, providing for full impact analysis when there is a change that the customer asks for. Just a quick graphic here that tells you that it integrates various applications, enterprise applications, and creates agility and flexibility and speed for the IT teams by creating a single unified view, a single source of truth, as we mentioned earlier. So with that, let's take a quick look at this demo for the. So let me introduce the demo scenario that we have set up here. So for this, we have. If I can go to the next slide here, we have taken this video based on a setup where you have HP Quality Center being used for test and defect management by the QA team. You have Digité as a sort of management tool being used for defect and test management for the development team. You have Subversion for the code management by the development team again. Redmine, which is a defect and test management tool, maybe being used by some part of the development team also. And then SwiftSync, which is the integration platform that is provided here. So let me go ahead and switch to the video. And I'm going to go ahead and start this up, and hopefully you can all see my screen here. All right, so this demo, as I said earlier, will show the integration between these four systems. In this case, we're starting off with creating a test case in HP ALM, and so here you're looking at an HP ALM setup where a tester or a test analyst is initially creating a test case, new test, when entering the sort of typical information that you might expect, such as the title, the creation date, description of what the test is supposed to do. And once they've set up the basic test details, they go ahead and save that. And as soon as it is saved in HP ALM, in the background, the SwiftSync capability replicates that data automatically in the test management module of Digité. And as you can see here, it provides the last updated date for the test case, and it makes that data available within Digité as well. So now let's take a case where the test has been run, and you need to create the test. You need to create a defect against that test case. It failed, and you have a linked defect being created within HP ALM, standard functionality within HP ALM itself. Again, we go ahead and enter standard defect data. Just a basic summary: when was it detected? When is it supposed to be fixed? What is the severity of the defect? The status of the defect, etc. And you go ahead and enter whatever information is required, and go ahead and save that defect. And the moment you do that, again, SwiftSync provides for automatic synchronization by the back, and so you can see within the defect management module of Digité that you can see the new defect come in here automatically. And therefore, for someone who's just using Digité as a management solution or a management system, they get to see everything within the system here itself, and you get to see not only the basic defect details, but also the traceability to that test case that failed. Finally, in the next step, we'll see the synchronization between Redmine and the other systems. So let's say Redmine is being used as a work management system by the developer. They see that they have a defect that they need to work on. So they go ahead and do that, and then they provide some update to the defect status here, as you can see, and give some updates, and then go ahead and submit that defect, submit the update to that particular defect. And the moment they do that, again, that defect gets updated in Digité again. So having been created in HP ALM, now when I update the defect in Redmine, the same those updates also come into Digité, and they become available here, and you can see that the workflow queue had been changed, and that update came back here. So next is that once the defect has been fixed, you now update the code and provide and put that and check that code into subversion, and so here I'm making some basic changes. And as an initial test of any kind sort of conflict management, we'll go ahead and show you a failed check-in, and you'll see an example of that here. That you basically enter the wrong defect ID, and you here we just for the demo we're saying it's a failure scenario. The moment you run that and submit that, you'll see that in the back end, SwiftSync detects that it is not the right defect ID and highlights that and lets you go ahead and make the right make the correct changes that are needed to be made, including the right defect ID and so forth. And so now I'm going to go ahead and show that success scenario, and once I do that and check the code in, you see that it goes through successfully. And so now we can look at again as the changes are being made in the code management system, the same data now becomes available within Digité as well. So if I go to the traceability tab within Digité, the code check-in details, you can see that the code check-in has gone through successfully, and all of the appropriate details about the code check-in, including the file name, etc., become available within Digité as well. So again, it's a simple scenario that shows that as you're working through different tools, all of those changes become automatically replicated across the system, including within Digité. So now I go back into Redmine and go back to the defect that I was working on and make changes here again. Again, simple change just to showcase that. And the moment I go ahead and update the defect in Redmine, the same status update gets reflected in Digité as well automatically. And that's the last part of the demo that we're looking at here. So, irrespective of what system you have, what products I'm working in personally as a developer or as a tester, I'm able to work in my own system and carry on the work that I'm doing, while at the same time in the back end it replicates that information to multiple systems, including Digité, which might be the sort of central. My apologies. Central system for the overall team as well as for management to look at the work that is being done by the different functions. So, what does Digité provide as a result of this integrated capability? Just a quick look at that. So, first of all, as we just talked about it provides end-to-end traceability, which is which you can see in Digité through configurable traceability maps. So here you can see, for example, a number of maps that are set up, and the one that's being highlighted is a release to requirements map that lets you. It's a 3-level traceability map that lets you look at releases on the first level, the developer iteration at the second level, and the specific requirements that are being worked on at the third level. So using the Digité traceability capability, you can set up flexible traceability maps which map to your own rules of how you want to track traceability. You can do positive traceability as well as negative traceability. So you can check things like what are the things that should be there versus what are the things that those that are missing, or things that are simply not there at this point in time. So you can look at both positive and negative views of traceability. The second thing, of course, that is key to overall ALM and for informed decision making is really good dashboards that provide you an insight to the entire application lifecycle, whether it is early stage or late stage, and just be able to look at the overall health of applications of projects, both in terms of quality or cost, and of course in terms of schedule, to see how your overall ALM activities is going on. And so therefore the ability of Digité to pull in information from different tools that you might have in the organization and provide you an integrated single dashboard, a single source of truth, is critical to your ability to manage applications well. Another example here of project health indicators that are provided. These are composite dashboard that let you do composite metrics, where a single metric is made up of underlying metrics which which sort of make up for the overall project health. And depending on your organization's business requirements, you can create project health based on the specific metrics that are important to you across quality, cost, and schedule, and so forth. In addition to that, one of the interesting things that might be good for SCPG or PMO type of organizations is to really see how well are projects dealing with processes that have been set up. So Digité provides a process compliance view where you can look at how well projects are done from standard phase gate type of checks or entry task verification exit type of methods to see whether all the process requirements are met or whether they were not complied with, and it gives you easy way to either improve processes based on the fact that projects are unable to meet certain process requirements, or you are able to help projects meet the process requirements because that is what the business asks for, especially in regulated highly regulatory companies. That might be the way to go, where you want to ensure that projects are compliant in terms of process requirements. So if we look at what is making all of this possible, the SwiftSync integration manager that supports both on-premise or cloud-based integration with just a wide variety of ALM systems. In fact, I have a few more slides that give you by category what are the types of systems we support. So if you look at the different types of tools that you might have in the organization, project management, portfolio management, business process management, etc. Software engineering tools, requirements management tools, and so forth. As you can see, SwiftSync supports a wide variety of these tools out of the box. So these are available as adapters that you can acquire depending on the kind of tool that you have within the organization. And not only do we provide that out of the box capability, but we also have the infrastructure that's available for you to develop that we can help you develop custom in-house application based adapters which you might have built in-house using our professional services organization. So overall, just a quick take. I guess we've really spoken about all of these things already, but what are some of the end user benefits that you can get based on using SwiftSync? Is first of all, of course, improved collaboration between different functional teams that are there, whether it's business analysts or developers or QA. Obviously, with a single integrated system, you have fewer miscommunication, which cause delays or costly rework. It gives you the I'm dying of cough here. The ability to, the flexibility to use business systems that best fit functional teams, and this is critical. I think most people like to continue to work in the system that they use or that they already use, so they don't want to have to go to a different system to provide updates to management. So as long as I'm able to work as a developer or a tester in my own system, but I'm still able to give that update to my manager or to the overall enterprise, that's the best of the both worlds. Provides for end-to-end visibility across the development life cycle, and of course comprehensive visibility for all employees based on using their own particular tool. So just a couple of quick case studies. So here is a company that is an online service directory marketing company with over 2.6 billion revenues, roughly about 400 engineers. And the system that they use were HP Quality Center and Track for managing their work. And the goal really was to improve reporting and improve the development team collaboration. And they decided to get SwiftSync and use that to synchronize defects between HP Quality Center and Track. And within about 6 months of their implementation, the benefit that they were able to get was real-time collaboration and visibility, resulting in greater greater interaction between the development and QA, and an integrated environment that allowed executive reporting with the HP Quality Center. So something that they were not able to do earlier. Another quick case study. This is the utilities industry solution provider, $1.6 billion in revenue, 600 engineers in their technology organization, 5,000 employees overall. And the system that they use were Accept 360 for the requirements management and Microsoft TFS. And the goal again here was on-time delivery, just providing visibility across the organization, better collaboration between business and technology, and reduced unmanaged changes. They've implemented SwiftSync Manager to synchronize requirements between Accept 360 and create corresponding epics and user stories in Microsoft TFS. And of course, calculation of total points from TFS user stories synchronized back to the requirements in Accept 360, so that people in the product management and marketing functions had some idea about what was going to be the effort to deliver a particular requirement that they were asking for. So overall benefits that they were able to achieve were time to market improved significantly, the global business units had better visibility to the project that they're funding. So after having provided the requirements and funding a project, they were able to really understand what was going on with those requirements that they're given on the project that they're given, because they had now visibility into the development environment. And of course, the key benefit was that the engineers and product managers were able to collaborate much better during the requirements phase, because now they were able to do a far better decomposition of requirements from Accept to Accept 360 to Microsoft TFS. I'm going to go ahead and skip this one and get to the last part of the webinar, which is Q&A, and let us see if we have a few questions that have come up here. All right, so I guess common questions that do come up as part of this specific webinar is first of all, that what are the various systems that we support. So let me just go ahead and show you the slide that shows all of the various systems that we support. And let me go ahead and start with this slide here. So as you can see here, we support a wide variety of products that are there that you might be using within the organization, and across a different set of vendors from Microsoft, IBM, HP, Serena, version 1, just a really large set of tools. And if I were to go to the next few slides, just to give you a slightly more detailed view of the systems we support. So across different tools, different category of tools, if you are strong in project and portfolio management as a discipline within an engineering organization or IT organization, you might have some of these tools. Obviously, Microsoft Project is a very popular one, but there are a number of others that are being used by customers. We support these out of the box. If you're using Serena for business process management and workflow definition, that is supported as well. If you use any of these other tools for Agile ALM, the Rally and version 1 are popular within organizations that have implemented Agile, but also Rational. A lot of our customers are Rational customers, and they are able to integrate using SwiftSync. Requirements management. Again, variety of tools being used, but clearly Rational, Doors, and Accept are some common ones we use, and Rational Request Pro, we support those. Again, across the overall life cycle, you can see that we support different tools for different work and different functions. So defect management, change management, test management, and build and release management. We provide this support across these different tools. Finally, under source code management and IDE, we support the two popular ones, Microsoft Visual Studio and Eclipse, and besides that, we support a few other tools as well, including, of course, LDAP synchronization and Active Directory. If you are a large enterprise, you already have a tool like Active Directory or LDAP that helps you manage your users and privileges and so forth. And SwiftSync supports that, and helps you quickly put together the overall integrated ALM environment and get to a place where you have better collaboration, better visibility, better overall ALM governance. Another question. So this is on traceability. So what levels of traceability do you support within the Digité application? So we support, there are multiple levels of traceability that are possible. So from a number of levels, there is no limit to the number of levels. You can have as many levels as you need based on your own business requirements. But what we do is that in the traceability map, just so it becomes a manageable view for you to be able to look at the traceability maps, we provide for up to 4 levels of support. So if you set up up to 4 level of traceability map, and you can look at it from let's say functional requirements to technical requirements to test requirements and to the actual code itself. For as an example, you can just set up multiple traceability maps that will let you let you define the way you want to track traceability from the business end to the code end, and be able to manage that based on again your own business rules, whether you want to do it through positive traceability map where you want to see what is there, or negative traceability maps where you want to see what is missing. So if you for example have a business rule that says that you cannot have a technical requirement unless a corresponding functional requirement exists for it, the system will highlight the fact that there are technical requirements sitting in your requirement management tool which do not have a corresponding functional requirement. Or if you want to make sure that no change request or a defect is entered unless it is connected to a upstream functional requirement, you can get that report through the negative traceability map, that capability that we provide. So the answer is really that we don't have any limits to the levels of traceability, but from a manageability of the view, the traceability map itself supports up to 4 levels of of mapping. Okay, let's go on to the next question. There are a couple of questions on traceability which I think I have answered. Yes, we provide. So the question is on dashboards. Do you support the ability to set up dashboards with information from different tools, and how do you reconcile dashboards between Digité versus other tools that may provide a dashboard as well, such as HP ALM or HP Quality Center, etc. So the answer is that it's really up to you. We do not mandate that you need to use Digité. You can just use SwiftSync from Digité and continue to use your other tools, whether it is HP ALM or Microsoft TFS or any other tool like that, and just continue to use those and use the dashboard that you're currently used to working with, rather than having to use Digité. Digité simply provides additional capability in terms of being able to provide dashboards by organization or by project or by application, and it's just one more sort of sophistication that is possible for you using the set of solutions that we provide. So and Digité dashboards do come with certain sort of benefits, which is that they align to a very flexible organizational structure. So if you have a large organization and you want to map your organizational hierarchy into the system, and then be able to do drill down dashboards based on executive level, top level dashboards all the way down to project levels, it allows you to set up that hierarchy and be able to drill down from any level to any level as long as you have access to that information. So so the Digité dashboards do provide you some capability there. The other thing that we do, which perhaps is supported by other tools as well, is that you can really set up a number of dashboard pages, as you can see here, and each of the dashboard pages can correspond to a program, could correspond to different business units, could correspond to different processes that you're using, or different customers that you're supporting. So it does give you very flexible and very easily, highly usable dashboard capability that perhaps you might be interested in. Okay, take a couple of more questions, and then I think we're probably going to be out of time. Yes, actually, we already answered the question about what systems we support, and I'm going to go back to that slide after we go ahead and finish the last one. Some of you have asked about what sort of process do we support out of the box. So Digité provides a very flexible process governance capability. While we provide tools such as Swift Kanban, which supports a lean Kanban based approach to project management and any kind of business function management. We have Kanban customers who use it for software development, for IT help desk and support, for staffing and recruitment type of functions, for marketing and sales. So Kanban, of course, as a philosophy, supports not just software development but any other business operation. So whether you use traditional waterfall type of processes, or you have iterative processes or agile, Digité's process governance capability does let you map your processes onto the system, and depending on the needs of the business units or depending on the needs of a particular project, you can use an appropriate process template. So Digité allows you to create your own process templates and use them based on the requirements of the project. So while we provide a lot of the workflow templates out of the box, we do not provide overall process templates. Those because most of our customers typically have their own very specialized processes that they use, and they want to be able to map them into Digité, and we provide that ability for you to be able to look at things from your perspective. And so a couple of questions came up again about what sort of tools do we support. So I'm going to just go ahead and put this slide up here so that you can get a sort of quick look at the typical tools that we have. And as I mentioned earlier, so we have roughly about 35 to 40 tools that are being supported out of the box. But in addition to that, if you have tools that are that you have built in-house, for example, if there is an in-house defect tracking tool that you may have, and you want to be able to support that as well, we do have a professional services organization that will help you build a custom tool for your requirements. All right. So with that, we come to the end of this webinar, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to the last slide here and just provide you the contact information. So for any questions, you're very welcome to go visit us website www.digité.com. And if you have any questions at all on our products or what you saw today, please write to us at sales@digité.com. Thank you very much for your attendance and for making the time today to look at what we have to offer. We hope you enjoyed this webinar. We will follow it up with an email that will give you a link to the webinar recording as well as a link to download the slides. Thank you very much. Goodbye.